All right, welcome everyone. Today is the 9th of July and it's 9 a.m., our first meeting of the month. And we've got a few items here to take care of, and then we'll wrap up and we'll move on into the first of our budget workshops. So let's begin with item number 1, and that is public comments and or requests for information on non-agenda items. Paul Lindsay has requested a moment to share with you some information about a Habitat for Humanity fundraiser. Welcome, Paul.
Yes, sir. I appreciate the Commissioner's time and the Judge's time to explain to you a fundraising program that the Habitat for Humanity has put together. And, I think everybody knows the good work that Habitat does. There's also a little flyer that I've handed out. It's got a phone number for the office over there. And basically what it is a reflective sign that you can mount on your, somewhere on the front of your property, either at your a mailbox or any other place where it can be easily seen. From my own experience, when my mother had a mini stroke, I can tell you having a reflective sign up there where the ambulance can immediately find that address is important. I spent 45 minutes in Camp County the other day trying to find an address to serve a CPS citation. So I can tell you that these things are important, they're lifesavers, and they save the patrol officers. It's certainly an officer safety aspect of being able to find where you need to go when you need to be there. So anyway, I was just going to show you all this. Habitat asked me to present that to y'all. You'll come across some of your neighbors and some of your constituents out there that may very well want a sign. They are $15. According to Galen, who's here representing Habitat for Humanity, it's already been a successful fundraiser for them. So if you find anybody that needs one of these things, let us know. Give them that phone number and have them call, okay?
How do you pay for it, and where do you pick them up? Does that include obviously it's not going to include mounting service.
No, it's going to be the sign.
When I get the information, I'll make the sign and you can pick it up at the Habitat office or wherever I need to.
Okay.
It's $15 and you can pay for it then.
Okay, and that's just simply the house number that of course goes along with the county road number, which we assume you know that you're on that county road with our signage, but that'll give the specific house number along with it.
Right.
What's the recommended mounting location? On the mailbox or not?
The mailbox. It's recommended. When my dad got one, he just got a steel pole, put it up down at the end of the driveway, and they mounted it to it. You can mount it to anything just as long as you can see it fairly well from the road. When your headlights hit it, you'll be able to pick up.
Is it on both sides?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay.
And there's 4 holes already there.
Pre-drilled in. For mounting.
Yeah, and is it reflective?
Yes.
Okay, that's a great idea. Yeah,
All right.
We need those. Thanks for being here.
Are they going to put those on just the road number? They're going to put your address and your
I think
road?
what they plan on doing is just putting the address on it. I don't know if it might be, it'd probably be a good idea to put the road number on the thing too, but I don't know that y'all are prepared to do that, are you, Galen?
No, we don't have enough of the numbers.
Okay. Right now it's your address.
Very good.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, thank you, Galen. Tell Tom hello, please, all right? Anything else? Item number 2, consider possibly approved minutes from our last meeting, June 25th.
Make a motion.
Motion's made by Commissioner Applewhite to approve, and second by Commissioner Parker. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item 3, report from our road engineer. Welcome, Roger and Philip.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Give you a little update on what's been going on. On County Road 1200, we completed all the sections that we mixed wrap and fly ash base with the existing roadway, and it primed those sections, and actually we have seal coated some of those sections also. We'll start overlaying the sections that were not reworked this week with hot mix, and we started that this morning. If all goes well, we should be able to put the final seal on it probably within the next 2 weeks. County Road 3290, Dana's Road up there. We've completed most of the fly ash base work and plan on doing more finished work before we pull off this section. We're up there today. We got a maintainer, we got the grid roller up there, and we got a water truck up there. We're gonna try to smooth it all out. We had some big chunks and stuff we needed to break down, but it's looking pretty good. I don't know if you've been through it or not. All that look all right to you?
So you wet that fly ash down after you lay it to help
Yeah, we was
start
trying
the
to wet it
settling
down
process?
some when we were putting it in, but we're still wetting it down.
Good.
You get us a good slick finish on top and make sure it's good and tight. Okay, on County Road 3210, we finished all the small base repairs, and we plan on moving the bow mag to County Road 3210 to rework a section of the road from basically right there close to 1402 to the top of the hill by the church. And we need to overlay several sections of 3210 in order to level it up before we place the final seal. On County Road 4660, we started working on the small base repairs, and we'll continue to work on the small base repairs as time allows. We may have to move this project ahead of 3210 in order to make sure we complete the seal before school starts. So we may not put the final surface on 3210. We may have to move to 4660 and put the surface on it. We definitely need to get the surface on it before school starts, or it's going to be real hard to get the surface on it with all the traffic.
Yep.
We've completed mowing precincts 1 and 2, and have started mowing 3 and 4. One of our 10-foot shredders is down right now. It's got a wheel bearing. Well, the axle and the wheel bearing's out on it, and we're going to have to replace that stub axle on it. Hopefully, we'll get the parts and get that done by the middle of this week. So we're currently mowing with 2 15-foot shredders, 1 10-foot shredder, and 1 6-foot shredder. And that's about it on the update. Y'all got any questions? Anything else we need to take care of? Or
I've got a couple of deals, a couple of roads that I need to get with you on, but I'll wait till later.
All right.
On 2470, that really worked out well. Got the kind of base on that road that needs to be there. When you got 10 chicken houses down that road about a mile,
Yeah.
and that's kind of base. Just never did have the money to do it, but it's
Yeah, it worked out pretty good getting that
really
material from
worked out
Cable.
well, and probably couldn't have done it any cheaper than what we've done it.
No, probably could. I mean, we did it for basically same prices, or cheaper than the fly ash base we could put on it. And most of it's iron ore gravel, so I think it's going to turn out real good overall. We just
Why
gotta
was
get over
that?
and
Just
finish.
because I'm curious, why do you do that one different than some of the others?
Well, we had the opportunity to get that material from Caver when they were working on 3417.
Yeah.
And we got them to haul it, and we hauled some of it, so we got it, for them to haul it in place, it was $10 a cubic yard. I mean, yeah, $10 a cubic yard, whereas we're paying like $10 a cubic yard picked up at Welch.
Yeah.
So it actually
It
saves
was
us
just an
money.
opportunity
It
that
was
we
just an
don't always
opportunity to take
have.
advantage of them.
Okay.
So that worked out good. I think we got better material than the fly ash base. So most
got
of this
great
is
material.
iron ore gravel that we got. Yeah, it looks pretty good.
When you got 10 chicken houses, you could imagine they bring those feed trucks in, they say 80,000 pounds, what they're supposed to run on that road. That's farm to market road, but these are county roads. And I'm going to say they probably run 85,000 or more. But that's what you got to do. The base is the key to everything.
Does that get seal coated after that?
Yeah, it will. But right now, we just got the base on it.
Over that iron ore? Okay.
Yes.
We'll get further down our list, but the opportunity was there, so we felt like this is the opportunity was there, we'll just go ahead and see if we can't get ahead of it. It's Safety County money, so we can
Good.
Safety County.
All right. Anything else, Roger, or any questions or comments for Roger?
On 1150, did we get a chance to get that trash picked up?
It's done, it's done.
Yeah.
Find any
We didn't find
names?
any more names.
Okay. Well, we got pictures anyway.
All right, last call. All right, thank you, sir. Item number 4, your department as well, consider and possibly approve our submission of the annual county maintained road mileage certification to TxDOT. And it's that time of the year when we state for TxDOT what that total mileage is. In the past, it has been 423. I think Commissioner Riddle brought up some good comments about some of our roads that have been taken into the city that perhaps should be adjusted out of our totals. At this time, are you prepared to approve a number?
No, I'm really not. Are they going to officially give us those roads or officially take those roads?
Well, they are aware of what we found to be the law,
Right.
which was if they go up to one side of it, then they take that entire road. And so, yes, I did bring that to Mr. Aaron's attention.
I told a member of the public that I need to call the city about
That's
a
right.
particular road.
That's
about
right.
the one by Parker's.
Yeah.
That first culvert, you know, they got a city limit sign out there past that first culvert, and that culvert sunk in. And I told him he needed to call the city because that's the city's responsibility, and the city told him it wasn't.
They wasn't going to do it.
They wasn't going to do it. Anthony Razor's who he talked to. The city told him it wasn't going to do it, so. So I don't know if we officially got those or not.
They probably owe an explanation. If you feel like that counts as meeting the qualifications for the city taking on not only the road, but both sides of that road when they go up to the edge of that road, which is what
Yes.
the law was redone as.
Yes.
Now, my opinion, that would be something that you could bring a summary and present that in writing with an email to Mike Aarons and just say, this is what we believe is the city's, and we need to adjust our total county roads. We just want to get your sign off on this. And if they don't agree with that, they're going to have to explain why.
Okay.
So,
I was just going to, you're talking about that first cover going up the hill there. Well, all that's in the city.
That's all in the city limits,
It
yeah.
goes to the top of the hill up there
Yeah.
where Betty lives.
Yeah, but I had this guy call and he said, city told him no, that was ours. They didn't maintain it.
It is theirs.
Yeah. And Anthony Razor, the way I understand, he's over the street department.
well, he may not have gotten the instructions from above once we brought to their attention what the law said about city annexing roads. So again, I think I'd want to get the sign off by Mr. Aarons first.
Both sides of that road is in the city. It's not one side, it's both sides. It goes to the top of the hill.
Why on earth he would say they're not responsible, I
I
don't
have no idea,
know.
because it's definitely in the city.
There shouldn't be any question to that.
Well, how much time do you feel like you would need before we're ready to do this?
I'd have to go out and measure every one of them.
Also, over there on the airport, the city joins that county road too.
The one across the tracks or the,
Go up there at Smith Cemetery Road, all that, where the airport land comes at, that
Right.
city property. All that road through there.
okay.
Well, how could maybe the commissioners assist you with this task?
Well, it wouldn't hurt for a couple of commissioners to go talk to them and say, make sure that they understand that they were going to take these roads over officially and how many miles of road we're actually talking about, and make sure we agree on it.
I know in my precinct, I don't know the other precincts.
Yeah.
What about, you said you were going to actually measure the roads. Is that something you want them to do? How can we accomplish this? We need to have it done by the end of August is the submission deadline, 31st of August.
I've got mine just about done, worked up. I like just a few roads having mine all
Okay.
worked up.
But I have mine, but is there not a way, I think that Google has a way that you can measure those miles. And I don't know, I've looked on the program that Seth and them put on my computer, And I don't know how to do it, but you said one time that they could be done.
Yeah, I think you can measure it on Google. I don't know how accurate it is. It may be just as easy to go out and measure with an odometer.
Well,
and get
I've
it
done
close.
mine, and they're a heck of a lot smaller than 1612. I think you told the city's
Right.
agreed
Right.
that's theirs, but then I counted that one, so that's, I'll tell you, mine on that 87 miles on it. 87 miles instead of 100.
What about that program, that computer program that KSA showed me
I
about
haven't
a
been
year
able to
ago?
access it anymore and make it work. Can you still access it, or?
I mean, I never could. I think I was just given a
I have a feeling they cut us
printout.
off.
You what?
I think they cut us off to access the program.
Oh, I didn't know you could actually access it. Well, you might have to pay them for that service
Yeah,
if it was
I
needed.
think that's what's going to have to happen if we're going to use their service.
Okay.
Most of mine, you can take a wheel and just walk it.
Well, yeah, I think you can.
That's accurate.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to bump this agenda item out 2 meetings from now.
Okay.
In the meantime, if there's assistance you want from the commissioners, or commissioners, if you can give to Roger what you have measured to be your total road miles would be good. And if there are portions that you believe have been taken into the city, any assistance there that you can give to Roger, or if you can get approval from Mr. Aarons at the city, I think that would be good to do. But I'd like to see that in writing if we're going to remove something out of our total mileage, whether we know that it's by law been taken over by the city. I think that we should get approval from him, at least in an email.
Right.
Okay?
Now, Mike, out on 2910 out there at Blodgett, you remember we looked at a subdivision road? Did we ever accept it? It's
That's
only
it.
about a half a mile down, and it's on the north side of 2910.
I don't.
You don't remember that one?
There's one out there going, is that 2910 Long Catfish Road?
No, 2910 would be the first county road to the right, south of the 127-21 intersection. Goes back to the west. I think it goes over into Franklin County.
Oh, okay. Now, yeah, that road goes down to that gate. That gate, that's where it was stopped, right there, the county road.
Okay, but I thought there was another, we looked at a subdivision on the north side of 2910, about a half a mile from 21 on the north side. Did we ever accept it as a road, as a county
Just
road?
have to look at it and make sure, at the very far west of that, as you turn off 21, it goes around, it goes into Franklin County, and then you come back into Titus County, and then you
Yeah, that's not what I'm talking about. I mean, it's
Okay.
just about a half mile off 21 on the north side. Remember, we looked at it, a little short.
Is that where the store's at? Where those cabins are back down in there?
No, this is the first county road, 2910,
Yeah.
okay?
Down there, and it goes to the left, and it dead ends, and goes to the right, horseshoe around.
No, this one goes to the right and ends up in Franklin County.
Before you get down off the bottom right there, it's right there on the right hand side.
Oh,
Right there where, a drive, you show them that. You know where all that is?
well, there's houses
Fence.
developed in there and stuff, but they got their own drive from that county road.
Yeah, well, I thought we looked at it like 6, 8 months ago.
Well, they were talking about putting a development develop that in there, but they have their own road.
But
going
apparently, we never accepted it as a county
No.
road, right?
No.
Okay.
Not, as you take the right there, it's on the right,
Okay.
not that addition. I think they just building houses, and they're building, there may be one drive, have 3 or 4 houses goes to it, but that's private.
Because that's the one I was kind of, thought we might have accepted, but I never remember
That is never,
formally
they've
accepted.
never entered that at all.
Okay.
Also,
Okay.
that 32,
And that was done several years ago. That's before any of these regulations.
that 3205, right out,
Where is
that 3205, that first blacktop to the, on 1402, the city, Miss Hedges lives down there.
Yeah, I'm not picturing it in my head right off.
It's in that cul-de-sac on the other side of the trailer house, on the back side of her place.
Okay. Is that ours or?
The trailer house is off, but the city took in that, up to that cul-de-sac right before you get Miss Debbie's house. Yeah, 3205, it turns to 3207. It's about a half a mile. The city is, you know.
All right.
Okay.
That would be nice if y'all help me with some of
Yeah,
that.
like I said, I said, you know, that's the road that, it's the first blacktop past the, that big pasture on the right-hand side for the,
Mr. Burtonelli's road?
Miss Chuck Burge's mom owns, but they're on right off the interstate, coming off 1402 in front of the Rockers office.
First County Road to the right, north of 1402? Okay. Yeah, the
Yeah,
city
so-
owns so much of it, and we've got the end of it down there still.
Yeah.
And
But
I think even that road that goes to the north off of that, I think the city's got a part of it too.
Right.
Okay. All right, I'll bump this out to the first meeting of August, so whatever details you all need to work out before that approval, let's get that done in the next month. Item number 5, consider and possibly approve a deviation for road specifications for the Belf addition. We have here with us today Emily Belf, who is the owner of this subdivision. Emily has spent some time meeting with Roger, with Pat Howard, who built the road. I've been out there. I've given you some drawings here, and I'm going to let Roger address this, and then if you have any questions for Emily, you can. But in our road building specifications that we have put into our subdivision regulations, and I've given you a drawing of that as a reminder, it calls for, two of the main things are an 8-inch base and a 24-foot finished surface. I am not suggesting that we change our subdivision regulations. However, we're going to listen to Roger's recommendation, and I would like to suggest that perhaps we consider evaluating these subdivisions on a case-by-case basis. And I'll reserve my opinion here for a little bit, and I'm not asking you to make a change here if you're not comfortable with it, but I would like you to listen to what Roger has to say, and if you have any questions for Roger or for Emily. But Roger, I know you've looked at this. I've driven out there. I've looked at this. We've got a 14-acre, 10-lot subdivision with about a, 600-foot long road that has been built, or at least the base is in place. 6 inches of base, not 8 inches of base, and we've got roughly a 20-foot wide road surface at this time. And it's my understanding that there is a request from Ms. Belf to consider a 20-foot width in this particular subdivision. Roger?
Yes. Yeah, she has requested deviation for us to accept 20 foot instead of 24-foot width. I think the 20 foot would be fine. You know, 2 cars can meet on 20 foot past each other. The road that we've got coming in is only 12 foot wide maybe at the gate.
One spot, it's 8 feet.
8 foot wide at the gate. Okay. And the best we'll ever get out of it is probably 16, I would think. The road is only, 800 foot long? 600 foot long? Yeah, it's only like 650 foot long with a cul-de-sac at the end. And it ties into our road. It's only 8 or 10 foot wide at the gate. I think 20 foot would be adequate for what she's doing. She's not going to have parking along both sides of the road. There's not going to be houses along either side of the road here, right? All your lots come to a point, basically. So there probably will never be any parking on both sides of the road, so I think 20 foot would be adequate. Which is, it's 4 foot less than what we call for in our standards. But I think
Are our standards too wide at 24, or can we, I would like to hold on to that 24, because you're going to undoubtedly end up in some situations where 24 foot is appropriate. This may not be one of them, but I would like to keep that at 24. You're not suggesting that we change the specs. We're just going to make a deviation on this particular lot.
Piece of property.
Okay. And we do have a big 50-foot radius cul-de-sac at the end of this one-way.
Yeah, her cul-de-sac looks fine. You can turn around in it easy. So I don't think there's any problem wrong with the cul-de-sac.
Go ahead.
Cul-de-sac, is that the same as our subdivision rules?
I think it's actually a little bit bigger, and the reason he had to go bigger was just to give adequate driveway width to each one of these lots. So it's at least what the specs call for, and I think in this case it's larger, but that was done out of the need to get an adequate sized driveway. You can look there and see how many different driveways are feeding into that cul-de-sac. And
That scares me to death after what happened out by on 30. When you're doing a lot like this, how big are those lots? They're going to have all their septic systems up here together probably.
Well, she also has another requirement.
I don't know why you didn't run the street on down here and get a little more instead of running these little narrow driveways. This is I think it's a problem. I mean, it's not a problem now, but look, that's what happened out here. That's what they did on Chapel Hill. That guy's got those lots like that, so he can cover that minimum acreage. But all he's done is I think it's a bad deal. That deal out there is a bad deal.
Actually, only three of them are minimum acreage, and those 3 that are 1 acres don't even touch the cul-de-sac. They all enter from the road and have very large acres.
For instance, how many acres is this lot right here? At the end of the road where the cul-de-sac, how many acres is that lot?
This is, I believe it's probably 1.3.
Yeah.
which
Okay.
one are you pointing to? The one on the very
The
bottom?
one right on top, right here, where the circle ends, and you go down through there. That's one of them. Here's another one. Look at these driveways. You're going to have all 3 of these. All these are driveways to prevent you from having to build a street down there. I think this is wrong. If you built the street down here, put the cul-de-sac, you'd have a lot. Everybody could get to their lot on the street. But making a lot narrow to fit a need is the wrong way for us to go. Look at the other 2 we've done. The one out on that for the 1350 and this one. I think this is really a bad deal for our.
I'm not arguing with you. I'd just like to hear why. We've got.
Why? It's because of this, these driveways here. They've made a driveway down to this circle.
Are you worried about road situations or septic system situations?
I'm worried about septic or anything else.
Well, like what else?
Well, what else is there being access to get to the or fire? How about emergency vehicles getting down here? If I own this lot here, and I do own a lot at the end of the road, and I asked them to take it out of the county and make it a private road years ago, and I got a gate on it. If I own one of these lots on this lake, I probably would want a gate up here. And that's a long ways from down here for the emergency vehicles to get to this gate. Look at that. It's nothing but just, I think it's subterfuge, just to get more lots. More lots.
Well, of course it is. You've got a high dollar piece of property here. You want to maximize the number of lots. This has been signed off by an engineer, George Sanford. It's been signed off by our septic expert, Clint Bain.
George Sanford signed off on that deal out here. Do you think that, well, wait a minute, let me start over. Do you think that's okay, what's happened to that guy that's got that house out on 30 by the dog food plant? Do you think that's a pretty rotten deal? that he's got.
Well, you're asking me to make a subjective opinion
No.
about that particular thing. Now, whether it meets subdivision regulations or not, I don't know, but I don't know that we can protect every property owner that happens to adjoin another piece of property where the new owner of the new piece of property decides to do something he doesn't like.
Okay, well, wait a minute, that's not how, that doesn't, what, we made a deviation. We said he could put 2 houses on one septic system.
That's right.
And that allowed him to cluster them up together. And because he's dividing the lots like this, long, narrow lots. He's got 10-acre lots, and they're long, narrow. And when you start doing stuff like, you make a deviation here, why not, couldn't we have a lot? I don't agree that we should allow this, just a driveway there. I don't know how many more feet that is to get that cul-de-sac down that road, but I think it should be brought down there to these lots. And I don't know how many feet that is, but it can't be very many, rather than stopping up here and having these long, narrow driveways.
Well,
to
but
these-
those 3 lots that you're pointing out are larger acreage, are they not? You've got 1.35, 2.23, and 1.34.
I don't have that information
So
here.
can I address the septic
Yeah.
issue? So our minimum square footage in this development is 2,500 square feet. So
Wait, I didn't hear that.
our minimum square footage in the development is going to be 2,500 square feet. So none of the houses are going to be, or will even fit in that narrow strip that you're referring to. They'll all be much closer to the lake in the wide open area. So all the septic systems will go much further in, closer to the lake, is what I would guess.
That's not what,
And also, I was just going to say, there's going to be a gate right there on the road, so it's going to be a gated entry. I think you said something about a gate.
it should be a private road if it's a gated entrance. It should be a private road out here coming in here.
That's the goal. That's what we're trying, yes, that's what we're going to do. But I
Wait a minute,
think
you're
that,
asking for a county road here.
No. She's asking you to approve her subdivision, and whether
I
she
think the
has an
rules
act-
are the same for private and for county road.
Now, I don't know if a gate's put there at the entrance, if that precludes you from ever having the county take that road over.
Right. So the homeowners association will always be responsible for, is that what as long as there's a gate, then we'll always be responsible for repairs.
Well, I don't know about the gate, how the gate enters, whether it's county road or private road.
Yeah, but you're not necessarily asking us to take over the
No.
road
No.
now or even later.
No.
But whether or not they want the county to take the road over, according to our subdivision regulations, they still have to build it to our specs.
Okay, I live next door. I live out north of town. The 4-acre house. The house got 4 acres.
Yes, sir.
He's run his septic lines from the house. It must be 300-400 feet up there to the front of the road. And he's got his sprinkler heads out there. And why did he do it? He didn't want those sprinkler heads down around his house. If I lived on the lake, I wouldn't run around my septic tank lines up that way. I'd get them away from my house as far as I could. And so I don't, that's not, I know they'll have their houses down here, but they can run their septic lines up there. And if you had these lots a little further, build this cul-de-sac down, you'd have plenty of room between a lot of people. I just think, I don't think that's a good, I don't think it's a good. It's a good plan for you. You can sell more land. But it's
Well,
not.
why don't you talk to Clint Bain about that? We're not going to approve this today anyway. We're not quite ready to do that. We're talking about a road deviation. Talk to Clint Bain
Clint's
about
actually
that.
approved all of this. He's approved the plat. He's approved all of our septic plan. He's
Who
approved
has?
everything. Clint Bain. He's approved everything.
Well, he approved that out on by the I-30, but he said he couldn't do it legally. He couldn't do it, made those lots so narrow.
Okay, well, we haven't made any deviation on the septic plan on this particular subdivision. And Clint has signed off on this.
I really think that every time somebody comes up here asking for a change, we deviate our subdivision rules. I think of course it makes us, I don't know why we do it. Why can't we have a rule and just stick by it?
Well,
Why
let's
can't we change
let's
the
break
timing?
this down. So you're saying you want the road 24 feet?
Yeah, I want the road 24 feet.
Okay.
That's what the subdivision
Okay,
say.
well, that's one issue. The other issue is, do you want her to resize the lots? She's met the minimum requirements other than this road. So if we don't like how we've worded it, or we don't like what our septic system inspector's doing, we need to discuss that with him. But this subdivision meets those requirements as far as minimum lot size. And again, remember, we used to have a lot size that was a whole lot smaller than this, and people were still putting septic systems on them. We've gone to the opposite end of the spectrum, sizing these lots at a minimum of 1 acre. So back to, I mean, we can still discuss whether or not you like the shape of the lots, but you know, I'd have a hard time saying, no, we don't like the design there. We think you need to redesign it when she's met the minimum acreage requirements. The question here is about this particular road, and do you feel that 20 feet is adequate in this particular case?
How long you been having this in progress, getting this done?
So this has actually been a 10-year deal. So we've been purchasing the land over 10 years. We actually bought it initially for ourselves. Then we were going to split it into 3 lots. With all of the rules and regulations and the roads and all of that, we actually ended up having to split it up into more lots just because of the costs and all of the requirements. So this is going to be a personal home for us as well. So we have our best interest in it too. We want what's going to be good for the development.
You're going to build a house.
We are building a house in this development. So there's going to be increased taxes, a lot of increased taxes. With the 2,500 square foot minimum, it's going to be $6 to $7 million of average tax value increase. That's what I've figured on an average.
Okay, you did agree to go ahead and put the other 2 inches to make it 8 inches thick?
Yes, sir. So we agreed on
base.
that, and that's another thing that we wanted to talk about. If
So-
we could do that at the time after the construction is complete, when I do
Do you have it bonded?
I'm gonna post the bond when we get this approved.
Okay.
Correct, Judge Lee?
We made an exception for that already.
This is, in my precinct, it's the end of 2850.
2850.
It's the very end.
There should be no reason for anyone to come in or out unless they're going to their home.
Going to their home.
Or going to visit someone in the development.
We're looking at reducing it down from 24 feet, which I don't have a county road anywhere that's 24 feet. 20,
Not in precinct 1 either, I'd like to add right now.
Well, we're not trying to duplicate what we've got. We're trying to improve the future. So that's one of the reasons we set this wider, and I don't have a problem with that. I think 24 feet is a good thing to aim for, but I do feel like there are certain situations where that may be too much.
well, in Emily's case, she called me, I didn't really know who she was years ago, and asked about these different things. And through the years, the process has changed a little bit. But what I'm looking at here, it's a 20-foot private road, cul-de-sac. Cul-de-sac is bigger than what it should be, but that's fine. We talked the road, you're going to go from a 20-foot road down to a 9-foot road,
Correct.
is what you're going to do. The county road's about 9
It's 9 feet right there at the entrance.
at the entrance, so she's going to have a 20-foot entrance going in there. To me, and maybe get your thinking on this too, but this, to me, since she has been working on this so long and putting this together through the years and stuff, because I know the original owners of it passed away, and their children got involved and grandchildren got involved, and you've been at a long time trying to get this all put together, and you finally got it, what, a couple of years ago?
Yes, sir.
Okay. To me, I'd like to see it come in as a grandfather clause or something like this for this one deal. And then I like what the judge says. We need to look at the situation in any of these developments and do it on case-by-case deal. That's what I'd like to see. But, you know, any future developments, if they get this cross-section right here, then that's I guess what they'd have to go by. Because I know it's changed a couple of times since you started the variations and stuff. Judge, I'd make a motion that we deviate from what this, to go back to what would meet her, that needs. The 20-foot road, I think, is more than enough. The cul-de-sac, add the 2 inches of base, that'll make it 8 inches. And the 2 seal coats, I don't have any problem with that. That's better than the road you're going down to get there.
Okay, so your motion asks for a deviation only in the width, correct? But now, to be clear, she's also asking for permission to delay the final application, of the road surface until some of the building can start, so that we're not tearing up a brand new road. Now, in the meantime, she will put up the bond, the performance bond, which will be in effect until that road is complete. And with the building of the road that is there now and the 8 inches of base that we're asking for, I believe that that's the majority of the cost, and that it's reasonable to wait a little while to put that final seal coat on there. How much time are we going to wait to put this final seal coat on? You got any idea?
I don't know. Hopefully it'll take off quickly and all of the construction will be complete sooner rather than later.
Well, that leaves a wide range of possibilities.
Maybe 2 years?
Well, are you ready to commit to that? I think your biggest detractors are going to be the people that are buying lots and building houses in there, wondering when you're going to put their final seal coat
Maybe
on there.
24 months?
Well, I think you ought to be prepared to tell us what that is before final approval of the subdivision.
I'd say 24 months.
Okay.
Are we talking about, it's a private road, going to be a private road? We just never will accept it as a county road.
Why not?
If it don't meet the specification, if we make it 20 foot, if that's as wide as they make it, it's a private road, they can make it any width they want to.
No, they can't. They cannot. Our subdivisions require these specifications, whether they're going to ultimately ask for it to be taken over or not. And the reason we did that is because despite what they say right now, and despite what she's telling you, she may be completely out of the picture and long gone by the time somebody comes and says, will you all accept our road? And we better know now that you better be prepared now to be willing to accept this road regardless of whether you think it will be or not. And so if you're going to approve a 20-foot road, we need to approve that, not excluding the possibility of it ever being a county road, but just on the attributes and the fact that Commissioner Fields and Roger have said they believe 20 feet is reasonable for this 600 feet of road in this particular 10-lot subdivision. So a motion has been made by Commissioner Fields, and I'll let you speak here in just a second, to allow a 20-foot width, to require the 8-inch base, and to allow a 24-month delay on the final seal code application. Is that the motion?
That's your news?
Yes, I know that we talked about, Mike and Roger and I, we talked about adding the extra 2 inches when we did the seal coat.
Okay, you
So
want to
I just
wait on the
wanted to
extra
make
2
sure.
inches as
Yes.
well. I don't have a problem with that, because that means you're going to need to rework that road anyway when you come in and bring in 2 more inches. If you've had some degradation in that 6-inch base, you're obviously going to want to fix it before you put the final seal coat on. You okay with that?
I'm okay with
Delaying the 2 inches of base until the time the seal coat is applied?
Correct.
Within 24 months?
Correct.
Okay. All right, everybody understand the motion? Okay, I have a motion.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Applewhite. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Aye. Okay. All right. We will put the approval of the subdivision off for another meeting to give you time to get, what did you say you were waiting on, your architect? What?
All I'm lacking is the 911.
9 address?
Name, the
Okay.
road name.
Okay.
Is there any way that we can approve it without that 911 road name?
Well, have you completed everything else?
Everything else.
Well, that's not what the clerk's office is telling me.
I have it with me today.
Okay.
I have every single thing on the list.
Well,
I just want to start filling lots
yeah, I understand.
before I miss my window of opportunity here in the summer.
Well, is selling a lot going to be contingent upon our making that decision today?
I believe so. I think that I can't start selling lots until it's approved. Is that right?
Okay. Well, not having seen all your final stuff, I'm a bit concerned about that. Now, I'd be willing to approve it with the, once the clerk, I don't know. I think that it's fair for these commissioners to be able to see everything has been checked off and completed.
Can we,
And I think that you know what you've seen here today, that we're probably not going to, backslide on you if you'll get all that done. You've covered your major attributes here.
Judge, can we table this till in the morning? She can get that done today?
Sure.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
We're going to be meeting today and tomorrow for budget hearings. We can table this till tomorrow when we continue this meeting.
Okay. That works.
Does that work for you?
And hopefully by then, I will have heard back from the road commissioner on the 911 street name. And hopefully I'll have that.
Well, I don't know that you have to have street name. You're just getting, what, addresses for each lot?
I just need a street name so that once those lots are sold, that they can get an address.
Okay.
Any street has to, any place there's over 3 houses on a road has to have a 911 address for each.
Okay.
Each
You don't
one.
have
So it
those
needs
yet?
a road name.
I don't have the name.
You can call Architects Council of Government.
Yeah.
You don't need a name, you need a number, you need a county road number.
Yeah. It'll be a private road number.
And you don't have that, but you've applied for it, you're just
I've
waiting
applied
on
for it.
that?
The commissioner was on vacation all last week, so he's supposed to be back in this morning. She needed someone's approval.
Is that with the Architects Council of Governments, or who is that with?
Architects
they assign all.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
but is that who you're communicating with?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know what his name is.
Well, they normally contact one of us, is what they normally do on a situation like that. They have got a suggestion usually as to what number, or the ones that I've dealt with, that's what they've done. They say, what number do you want on that road? We've got this, this, and this, and then we approve. It's usually what happens. So I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if
That's
that
who
would come
does
from
that.
Mike or.
So if you can get that done in 24 hours, we'll table this until then. Okay.
Hey,
All right.
Brian, what
Yeah.
you need to do, budgetary is not the same thing as the commissioner's court meeting, so you will need to keep this adjourn or something, and then
Recess until in the morning.
You'll have to have two different things. You can't do it in this circle here, there's administrative.
But I can adjourn for 24 hours and come back and complete that item. Yeah, that's what we'll do.
You'll have to do a recess.
Okay, well, I need a motion to do that.
I'm looking at the diagram. This is the diagram for the cul-de-sac,
Okay,
for out of the subdivision.
okay.
And it starts from the center is 50 foot to the outside of it. So that'd be and 37 foot to the pavement.
She's got the full 50 foot rather than 37.
I thought it said 60 foot somewhere.
Does it?
George, no, not ours, not the subdivision. I thought I seen the one that Sanford made.
But you're talking about the 60 foot right of way?
No, I'm talking about yeah, for the cul-de-sac. Here's the coming from our subdivision cul-de-sac. Where did I see George? He had 60 foot all the way across instead of 100.
Well, what this is showing is, you're looking at some of the right-of-way in there. Edge of asphalt is 37 feet. And you're gonna have edge of asphalt of 50 feet out there. Is that correct? Yes? Yeah. The 60-foot required easement, you have a 60-foot required easement. All right, I need a motion to table this until, we're going to tentatively say until tomorrow, when we reconvene first thing in,
We won't start meeting till 10, right?
tomorrow? No, we've got 9 o'clock meeting then.
And in the morning.
We'll take care of this one first, if she's ready, and I'll know today if you're ready or not. Okay. Still need a motion to table. Motion to table,
Second.
Commissioner Applewhite, second, Commissioner Parker. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, we've got some budget meetings starting here quickly, so we need to move quickly. Item 7, discuss and possibly take action on the sale of surplus road equipment.
I just misread it. I just saw it.
Go ahead.
Okay. Tim, y'all looking at some of y'all little police cars and stuff here in the near future, right? Yeah, okay. Or next month or so?
I'm sure we have to get
Okay. Well, what we'd like to do is sell some of our surplus road equipment at the same time that the sheriff sells his surplus equipment off. And what I was looking at is getting permission on I've got a list of equipment we were looking at, the possibility of selling. The first one I've got on my list is that non-running Ford dump truck that's parked on the west side of the shop up there now. I think, wasn't that yours? Was it precinct 1?
Yeah, it's an engine that, the history of that truck was that they blew up that engine. And the previous commissioner, they sent it to, down to some shop near Tyler to rebuild that engine. And ever since they've rebuilt that engine, about $13,000. But anyway, it's been a pain and it's been a bad, and the guy is just not worth. We spent a lot of money. It's not working on it, and it's not worth putting a new engine in it. I wouldn't put a new engine in it. It's going to have problems. The engine's got a serious problem.
How many pieces do you have that you want us to consider?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12, 11 pieces.
Okay. When's the earliest you would propose selling any of this?
Probably at least a month from now.
Okay, why don't you provide a list to the commissioners today, rather than spending the time to go through all 12 of these pieces of equipment? Let them be looking at that, and can we vote on that at the next meeting, or do you need some kind of direction right now?
Well, I was hoping we might look at this before we got into the budget meetings,
Okay.
because I'd like to be able to spend the money from the sale to buy equipment.
Okay. Proceed then.
Okay. The next one is that old distributor truck that's, I don't even think it runs anymore. Y'all have any problem with getting rid of it?
The old distributor truck?
Yeah, the old distributor.
We bought that truck, it was used then.
Is that 364 or all of them?
I think it was all of them, wasn't it?
That's the one we use seal coating, and that's one of the reasons they stopped seal coating. They couldn't fix that truck. It has a heater on it, heats up the stuff, or supposed to.
Right.
And they had all kinds of problems with that. It's just junk, and everybody agrees with that. It's a junk truck, and he's bought a trailer to do the job. They've got the trailer they pull behind the dump truck.
Right.
Distributor.
So I don't see us ever using it. I don't think it's worth trying to fix.
They decided that a long time ago.
Yeah.
About 4 or 5 years ago, it wasn't worth it.
And more than likely, all we're going to get the scrap metal price for it. We got a winch truck out there with it. And I don't know when it's run. That's Precinct 2's.
It's been there a long time.
This an old truck, we had it, at one time, we needed something like that when we were putting head walls up and stuff like that. And where we could take the winch and pull stuff, and especially we got something stuck, you can take the old winch truck out
Right.
there
But when's the last time it's run?
gosh, probably 15 years ago.
Okay.
The old winch on it's good and everything. The old truck's old, but it'll run. But I don't have any problem with it.
Okay. We also have an old oil truck. I believe it's Precinct 3's. I don't believe it runs anymore. I think we've already took the asphalt pump off of it.
It hadn't run in a number of years. Either has it.
I'm not sure when it run last. Any problem with getting rid of it, Dana?
Nope.
Okay.
Do you have any idea how much you can get for all this stuff?
I think everything on this list, we're probably getting lucky to get $20,000, $25,000.
Okay.
Just junk.
Then why don't we save these details again? I don't want to back up everybody's budget meeting, and let's discuss it
Okay.
during your budget time.
Okay.
For the little money that you're talking about there, it isn't going to make that much difference, and it'll just save us some time here. We can
Okay.
discuss it.
Can you make a copy of the list of this and give everybody right now?
He's,
Okay.
he's got a slot on the list, right?
Oh, yeah. We'll discuss it then, and I'm sure I'm going to be in favor of selling anything that's, non-functional and it's just
Right.
junk in our way.
We just want to get it where we can sell it at the same time Tim was selling insurance. That's all it's trying. Just do it all at one time.
How you plan on selling it?
Auction it off, probably through Auctioneer Express.
Okay, that's the way to go.
Okay.
Well,
You'd be surprised if people come look at that stuff that they can use.
if we postponed a decision until 2 weeks from now, is that going to cramp your style? If, in other words, if you have your answer during the next 2 days of budget discussions as to whether or not you can sell it, then we can approve the sale in 2 weeks. Will that be
Yeah,
adequate?
that'd be fine.
Okay, all right. Anything else there? I need a motion to table item number 7.
Motion.
Motions,
Second.
I heard first was
Yeah.
Commissioner Applewhite, second Commissioner Fields. Okay, Roger, anything else?
No, that's all.
Okay, item number 8, consider and possibly approve a memorandum of... We didn't vote. All those in favor of tabling, say aye. Aye. Thank you. Item 8, consider and possibly approve a memorandum of understanding between Titus County and Red River County for a veteran service officer services. Steve, tell us what you're doing, and I'll show you what I've got here that we're going to consider.
Yes, sir. I'm proposing a memorandum of understanding with Red River County and Titus County, same as we have with Franklin County, that Red River County would pay Titus County $100 a month for veteran services. This would not require any additional hours or compensation on behalf of Titus County, and the $100 a month would go to defray the expenses of the office for the Titus County Veteran Service Officer.
Okay.
Either party can withdraw from the memorandum with written notice to the other party.
And this has been considered by Red River County, and I'm assuming that they're grateful that you'd be willing to help them out. It has been approved there by their judge, L.D. Williamson, for this MOU. It just needs our signature if we're supportive of this.
Yes, sir.
The money we get from Franklin County, do we pay that to you? That's paid to the county?
Help offset our expenses in the office. It's paid to us.
Okay.
Do they have anybody now?
$100
Do they have anybody now assisting the veterans?
They do
Or
not.
are you doing it?
I'm doing it now.
Okay. I know some people over there, and they said they had come to Titus County and you had help.
Right. They had, some of their veterans had also been going to Bowie County and Lamar County. The ones that were coming to me were complaining that they couldn't hardly ever catch the Bowie County representative there. And in some cases, Lamar County, because they were so overwhelmed, weren't able to get to them or had sent them to me. The only problem I have with that is that a lot of times we were getting the hardest cases. You have a lot of veterans come in and have all their paperwork done. All you have to do is kind of guide them through the process and send it in. The ones that come there without a clue, aren't prepared, then that requires additional research and time. And I don't want to be the one that's getting all those cases, that the other counties are sending me the ones that, requires additional work or consideration. On average, I'm seeing about 1, maybe 2 Red River County veterans per week. I don't think that's going to encumber my ability to assist Titus County veterans any more than Franklin County.
That was my next question. You think you can handle it all right, no problem? Make a motion, Judge.
Motion's made by Commissioner Fields to approve this memorandum of understanding. Let me go ahead and read it to you. Memorandum of Understanding, Veteran Service Officer. This MOU between Titus County and Red River County will become effective August 12th. The MOU pertains to the Veteran Service Officer's duties of Red River County being assumed by the Titus County's current VSO. Titus County has agreed to perform duties for Red River County on August 1, and Red River County will pay Titus County $100 monthly or $1,200 annually for Titus County providing these services. Titus County will establish the time, location, and days these services are available. Either county may, by written notice, with 30 days notice, withdraw from this MOU. Motion is made by Commissioner Fields.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Parker. All in favor of approving this MOU, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And there are none. Thank you, Steve. I'm going to sign this, and we'll get Joan to attest this and get you a copy available.
All right. And I will check on the item for the Pauper, for the VSO. The Pauper funeral is on the agenda.
Okay,
I'll
thank
check
you.
on that.
And item number 9 is consider and possibly approve payment of a pauper's funeral. Let me get you this information. This is submitted by J.C. White, and the individual's name is Henry Haley. And the statement is coming from the funeral home that I have requested. It says, J.C. White Funeral Home and Cremation has not received any form of compensation for the funeral services of Henry Haley, Jr. Any form of compensation, if it is received, we will notify the county judge. So this is a $950 request. We don't get many of these, but no one to pay for Mr. Haley's services, which is the bare minimum and will include cremation and no services.
Make a motion, we approve.
Motion's made by Commissioner Parker.
Second.
And second by Commissioner Applewhite. All in favor of approval, say aye.
Aye.
Item number 10, discuss and possibly take action on repairs to damage caused by the hailstorm. And Commissioner Riddle was going to and has spent some time on this, talking with some other parties, and the objective is to determine, has the compensation that has been provided to us by the insurance that we have with TAC, is it reasonable? Are there repairs that we honestly don't need to make, or are there possibly repairs that we have not been adequately compensated for that we need to request adjustment for? So I'll turn it over to Commissioner Riddle.
We've, the adjuster, just to where we are, the adjuster come out, well, the insurance, our insurance sent the adjuster. I call the insurance and I ask the insurance in Austin, I guess, wherever they're attacked, and I asked them, I said, what if we disagree with some of this, what the adjuster did? Who do I go to? She said, you go to the adjuster. And he would come by and surveyed everything, give us a report, and I'm getting really conflicting bids on it. The last one is like $147,000 or whatever they did, but they did core samples in our roof. It's gravel and tar. They did core samples. They found water in there. Some of them did inside the roof, and it's just a big difference between the two, what the adjuster said and what the roofing people say. And we've had one person give it to us in writing. Another person was Hefner. He said, oh, that's ridiculous, that what the adjuster said. So we go back to the adjuster. I'd like to get one more. Castletop said they'll come out, and I'd like to see what they say. And I really would like some more, but they're so busy, I don't think they're going to. A couple of them said they would, and then they said, later they said they wasn't going to have time, they were covered up. So I just wanted to know where we are. I'd like to, because I think we should go back to that adjuster, but I think we should have some more paperwork. And I just wanted to bring you an update. I don't know, I really don't know where to go from here, but those are my thoughts.
So at one time, we were actually considering taking some of the money that was specified for damages that were purely aesthetic, and we were going to consider not even making those repairs. But now you've kind of gone to the other side and say we may have damage here that they didn't adequately identify and did not adequately compensate us for. Is that right?
That's right.
Well, you know, unfortunately, when you're dealing with stuff like this, and you're getting a bid from somebody who stands to financially gain from you by letting you repair their roofs, it's difficult, in my opinion, to get somebody that is totally unbiased. So I'd keep that in mind too, but if they're bringing to our attention things that we can show to TAC and say, you didn't provide us any allowance here for this damage, you need to relook again at what this professional roofing company has shown to us. So
that is old, and I guess it's old the way they did it years ago, tar paper and gravel. And my thinking is if we could get a substantial amount of money, it may be worth it for us to change that roof on this building, for example, totally, and get rid of the gravel and stuff. And that's what one company's recommending, and it might be worth it in the long run. And so I don't know how much the insurance might be willing to pay for it, but
well, the insurance company's sure not going to improve your roof.
right.
You know, they might provide you some additional damage money, but they're sure not going to say, well, let's go ahead and update your roof and give you a brand new roof.
Right, but at that time, we might need to make a decision whether it would be worth it for us to put a little more money with it to get a new one if at that time.
What type of roof are you looking to put on there?
I don't know, it's in this bid here, I wouldn't know what it is, but get rid of the gravel. Oh, no, they have other materials for flat roofs.
Well, again, that's the only thing that I would caution is here Montgomery Construction is giving you this, six-figure repair bills.
Right.
And they're wanting your business. So
Sure.
if I was them, I'd tell you had a lot of damage too.
True.
Hey, Mr. Riddle, who did you get a bid from?
We've got one from, we didn't get a bid. Hefner said that he wouldn't do it. Hefner looked at the adjuster's bid or estimates. He said, I wouldn't touch it for that.
Oh, really?
He wouldn't even give us a bid. He said, wow, this is ridiculous, low.
But did he actually examine the roof and find damage?
He walked around the top on the roof, so that's what he said.
Because we can, I can assist you with that a little if you need me to. We can use the same company that we use for the jail.
Who is it?
I'm not sure they're out of Dallas, but they did an excellent job on that jail. And then, in fact, we did most of the roof, but not all of it. We thought we had a major problem with the rest of it. We had to have it replaced, and they're the ones that come in and said, no, you just got a little problem with your flashing. They come in there and did that flashing for, I believe we just paid out of our budget because it didn't even meet our deductible. So they really did us good, and they're really experts on these flat roofs.
This is who just did some repair work for you, or years back?
Well, it's a while back, but now it hadn't been that long ago on the flashing that we did. But yeah,
That wasn't Hefner?
Now these people out of Dallas are pretty much experts on these flat roofs. They're the ones that did the jail. And it's been a while back, but that roof, we haven't had 1 ounce of trouble out of it.
Okay.
And we thought was going to have a lot more work done, but we used the same company to come in, and they said, no, you don't, your roof's still good. I mean, they really did us good. Instead of coming in trying to beef up the money to make a lot of money, they were actually honest and come in and now the people doing this may be honest. It may need it. I'm not saying it's not, but see if you need one more person to look at it. We could get them to come down and look at this. They'd come down.
But also, a few years ago when we did this for Severners, and I can't remember when you were here when we did that, but it was, George reminded me that it was guaranteed for 20 years. So does that,
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it means it's guaranteed to hold up to hail.
I didn't know if we go back to, if that, we could check on that law or agreement or warranty.
Can you get that company out of Dallas?
Sure, I'd like to. I'd like to have some more people. Like you said.
I tell you what, that hell that come through this last time we got our air conditioning units, I'm about to look, I believe I might have to buy 2 more protectors, but that's going to prevent this from happening again, hopefully. But it didn't hurt our roof, so, I mean, these guys really did a good job on it. You got their name, you get it back? I can get it, I'll have to go back to the office and get their name and number.
I'll call them.
Yeah, we'll get it.
Roberts is also looking at the air conditioners too. He hadn't told me what they would be, but he said he had to do a lot of damage down in the shopping center,
But I'll get
Walmart.
with you, Commissioner Riddle, if you want to, I'll get with you, I'll get you that information, and we can get them to come give an estimate.
I'd like to do that if it's whatever.
Okay.
Now, what I'd say you do is after you get these people to give you an estimate of what it really costs to fix it, the adjusters look at that and see if they've got items on there he didn't have. They'll do
Yeah,
it.
he may disagree.
That's right.
Okay, well, let's please someone table that, any action there. We don't have any action to take on item number 10.
We don't need to table it, or?
Yeah, we do.
I make a motion, we table.
Motion is made to table item number 10. Second by Commissioner Riddle. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Item 11, oral and written reports. Get a hold of everybody. Thanks, sir.
Hefner did the annex and all that.
I'm not sure, they did the jail years ago.
Yeah, I know, but I think they did this over here. We got this other company to do the jail.
Yeah, and this other company, they went back to the river gravel, what they did, and it really worked good.
We have a leak continuously over at that annex. Just
I guarantee you, they come in, they gonna see what they need.
They did put a little runoff,
Yeah, they put a slight pitch in
a
our.
slight pitch to get that water off the roof.
I make a motion, we approve the oral and written reports.
Motion is made by Commissioner Parker for approval. Second by Commissioner Applewhite. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Item 12 is our treasurer's report.
Thank you, mate.
Make a motion, we approve the treasurer's report.
Motion is made by Commissioner Parker, seconded by Commissioner Fields for approval. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Item 13, budget amendments. No budget amendments. Item number 14, signed pay orders and approved bill payments.
Make a motion to pay bills.
Motion is made to do so by Commissioner Applewhite. Second. And seconded by Commissioner Parker. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All right, closing comments. Just as a reminder, we will begin tomorrow with our budget hearings. We're going to start at 9 o'clock sharp with reconsideration of that subdivision approval, if indeed she is ready by the end of the day, and if not, we'll immediately move into our budget workshop. But otherwise, we'll begin and cut into that first 9 o'clock meeting with a few minutes spent on the subdivision. So we will, rather than adjourning, we're going to recess and pick up tomorrow within 24 hours. I don't have any other comments. Commissioner Parker, do you have any?
I don't, Judge.
All right. Commissioner Applewhite. Commissioner Fields.
I have no comment. No comment.
And no comment. All right. We're going to recess today's first of the meeting, Commissioners Court meeting, until tomorrow at 9 a.m. And we stand in recess. Now, and we've delayed some of these folks that we could get a hold of for beginning our budget meetings. If you need to take a quick break, please be back within 5 minutes. All right. Well, we will reconvene to finish up yesterday's Commissioners Court meeting, but we're not going to approve anything, and we'll go straight into Sheriff's time. But let's begin with a prayer and pledge of allegiance today. Dear Lord, we gather here today to continue on in our budget discussions, and we continue to ask for your leadership and guidance. We praise you for the saving of all those kids in that cave in Thailand, and just thank you, Lord, that turned out well. Just guide and direct our conversations here, that we would set a budget that is reasonable for all concerned. We pray in Christ's name. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, it's 9 a.m. on July 10th, 2018, and we recessed our Commissioners Court meeting yesterday with the possible consideration of finishing today with the approval on a plat for a new subdivision, and we didn't quite get that accomplished. Apparently, according to the clerk, there's still some things that need to be done before we can approve that. So we will put that on another agenda, and therefore there is no further business that I know of related to the Commissioners Court meeting that began yesterday on the 9th of July. If I'm wrong, let me know. If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn that first meeting of the month, regular Commissioners Court.
I'll make that motion.
Motion to adjourn is made by Commissioner Parker and seconded by Commissioner Applewhite. All in favor, say aye. Aye.